Hello everyone, welcome back to another art challenge. Today we're moving forward with steps for our Taj Mahal project. If you had followed along with the lesson yesterday, you should have an 8 by 10 inch sheet of paper just like this one. That paper is divided in the middle on this horizontal plane here. The paper is in portrait mode, and there should be a platform here that is indented 1 inch from both sides, is a quarter inch or about a quarter inch tall, and connects the tops. In the Taj Mahal itself, the construction of that platform took a very long time because they actually had to excavate underneath to create the tomb itself. Because if you guys remember, the Taj Mahal is a tomb for Mumtaz Mahal, which is the favorite wife of Shah Jahan, an emperor of the Mughal Empire. So yeah, just some fun facts about that. If you'd like to look up images of what that tomb looks like, I would strongly suggest it. It's a place that you can't physically visit. It's not open to the public. So that footage is probably the only chance you'll get to see what that tomb looks like. But really today I want to focus on some of these steps to get the base work done for our Taj Mahal. So how we're going to go about doing that is line up your 0 mark on the edge of that platform that we had created yesterday. And you're going to be making a couple marks. The first set of marks will be at 2 inches and 6 inches. So that's about 2 inches indented from either side of our platform here. So mark at the 2 and the 6. Next up, you're going to need to find the 1/2 inches, which, if you guys recall, is going to be in between your inch marks. It's that long line in the middle. We're going to be making a mark at 2.5 as well as 5.5. So just 1/2 inch inwards from those first marks that we had drawn. Now it gets a little trickier. We have to work on those 1/4 inch marks. The first one we need to find is 3.25. So 3.25 is going to be in between 3 inches and 3.5. It's that long line there. We'll make a mark at 3.25. And then we need to find a mark at 4.75. So here's 4 inches. There's 4.5. In between 4.5 and 5, you'll find this long line. And that is 4.75. And then as a final mark, we're going to find the middle of this whole platform, and we're going to make a mark at 4. So if you guys would like, you can pause the video to get up to this point. Basically what I've done is I lined up my ruler to the edge of this platform. You make a mark at 2 inches and 6, 2.5 and 5.5, 3.25, 4.75, and then an inch in the middle at 4. So those are all kind of like marks that we'll be using to create this mausoleum. Next step is we're going to be making vertical lines that go from these marks. So the first set of lines are going to be on this outside edge here, and once again we're going to have to find that 1/4 inch. So we're looking for 1.25. There's 1 inch. There's 2. Halfway between we find 1.5 inches, and then halfway between that mark and an inch mark is 1.25 inches. So I'm just going to line up matching at 1.25 inches here, lining up to that mark I had made, and then we'll just draw that vertical line. And we're going to do that on both sides, 1.25 inches on both sides. Here we go. Next set of lines is going to be 1.5 inches. So just a 1/4 inch taller than that last set. We line up our ruler with that mark at 1.5 inches. That's the mark in between 1 and 2. Make a vertical line, and we do that to both sides because we're keeping this project symmetrical. Everything we do to one side, we're going to have to do a mirrored image of that on the other. And for our final set of lines, we're going to make lines that are 1.75 inches long. Vertical lines, once again. I'll try to keep it on the page. But yeah, 1.75 inches. That's between 1.5 inches and 2. There we go. 1 3/4 here as well. And that is going to be a lot of our measurements for the day. We've got vertical lines, 1 1/4 on the outside, 1.5 in that on the next set of lines, and then 1 3/4 on that last piece there. Now we're going to connect the tops of some of these lines. So the first is going to be the ones in the middle. We'll connect that with a horizontal line. You can line up the ruler to the tops of that second set that you had created. Connect those. So those are horizontal lines. We are going to connect the last set of them with some diagonal lines. So really you just kind of connect the tops of all those lines that we had just drawn. And you'll get something like that. Starting to look more like the Taj Mahal. So the next tricky step is we'll need another line in the middle. And that line is going to go to about 3.5 inches. So if I can get my ruler all squared up here, there we go. 3.5 inches in between 3 and 4. We're going to make a line going all the way to that 0 mark. And that is going to help us figure out what this dome needs to look like, because on top of all these buildings there's going to be a set of domes, which once again the construction of it is really interesting. They didn't have the resources to make kind of like an understructure of any kind, so they really built the dome in rings, one ring at a time, and had to be very precise and calculated to make this dome work. It's one of the more impressive features of the mausoleum. So the way we're going to go about doing that is from the top of that mark that we had just drawn, that long vertical one, we're going to make another mark that is 1 inch below it. Now I'm going to do my best to try to create a half circle that connects at the center of that line here. So there's one half, there's the other half, that's a dome. And then we're going to need some half circles on top of here as well. There we go, a set of domes. So that is as far as I'd like to get today. We've got the groundwork for our Taj Mahal completed. I'm trying to keep these videos relatively short so that you can follow along and keep track with what the rest of us are doing. I don't want anyone to get left behind. But yeah, join me next week and we'll make some more headway on this project. I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you're enjoying the art challenges in general. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.